Hi my friends, it's been a while since I've made a talking video, so I just had this feeling this morning I'd like to just share some things with you. Come. Yeah. So I hope you're all well, and life is not easy. In some ways life is getting better and better, but in other ways it's getting more difficult. And for many of us it's very challenging with the changes that are happening, with the climate especially, economy, our health. Just really more or less everything in our lives is affected by all the changes that are happening. And for some of us it can be really, really difficult. So I'm pretty sure that this is why I even started these two channels, that I wanted to share with you that all is well, and that life is good, and that we really have nothing to fear. But I know that saying this is an easy thing to do, but to actually feel no fear is more challenging. So yeah, I send my love out to you right where you are in your life, and just my sympathy and all my compassion to you. And wherever you are, whether you are living in a very rich country or a very poor country, or in the material sense, because often the rich countries are the most emotionally poor or socially poor, whereas the so-called poor countries are actually much more rich in culture and just their family bonds. So it's difficult to say who's really poor. Well, we can say that the person who is poor is the one who feels poor. And so the message I've wished to pass on to you is that we're really all rich if we want to see it and we want to feel it. And our outer circumstances are really not that important. But I know, I know it's challenging. It's challenging to think that way when you're using your mind. But often, for most of us, or I can say for myself in my own life, when we've been through enough suffering, we start to let go. We start to let go of all our ideas of how life should be and how people around us should be and how our health should be or whatever. And also our feeling sorry for ourselves, we let that go. And we sort of sink into our hearts, and that's when we realize that that within our hearts we have everything. There's all the peace and all the love we will ever need in our lives. It's right here in our hearts, and all we need to do is access it. And so when this thing isn't working in your life, and this thing isn't working, and this thing is falling apart, finally you stop focusing so much on it, and you just sort of say, oh, okay, what the hell? Let it fall apart. Let that person leave me. Whatever's happening. And you just let it go, and it's such a relief, because before we were holding on to all these ideas of how our lives should be, and our life wants to unfold in its own its own special way, really. So although we are creating our lives, we are also being influenced by our lives. So it goes both ways. So when we stop focusing so much on what's going on around us, and we take the time in our lives to just be quiet and just sink into our hearts, we feel the peace and we feel the love. and we feel the hope. We feel that although everything is really, really difficult and strange, there's a light shining in the midst of it. And that little light is really me and everything around me. The light is everywhere. So I'm okay. And I will be okay. And I have really always been okay. I just thought I wasn't. So that was a bit of philosophy. And I think also when we feel very tense and maybe very anxious, as I've mentioned before, it can be to do with our physical state. And so, as I've talked about many times, it's important that we focus on healing our hearts and really coming into this peaceful place. But we do also have a body, and sometimes you'll see spiritual masters where the body is, in a way, it's withering away, or it's just they've got no focus on it, and in a way it's sad, really, because the body, of course, the mind and our spirit, the way we feel inside, is really what affects the whole. But we must also consciously have focus on our body. As I see it, it's really important. And so for many of us, our guts are really unhealthy, our bodies are really unhealthy. And see, this goes up and affects our mind. And so if you're a person who just cannot find peace, maybe you need to focus on, or it would be a good idea for you to focus on your health. Because once we start healing our body and our gut, and we come into balance in our cell, all our cells get to work better, all our gut comes into balance, then our mind, we can feel the peace from within, physically also. So the mind and the heart, the way we feel, the way we choose to feel, is really where it all starts. I choose to feel the richness that is within me. I choose that. I choose to not feel weak and feel sorry for myself. I choose to feel gratitude. That's really where it all starts, and that's where really everything is affected to the better. So from living in a life of lack, you start to see that you are rich right where you are. And then we can start focusing on the body. The body comes after. But for some people, they're not ready. They're not ready to go into their emotions and really admit how they feel. And they don't believe in the power of thought and how we choose. And they don't believe that you can actually choose your thoughts. So for people like that, it's good to start with the body, because really the body is an expression of our spirit. It's a part of us, and it's sacred, just like all the rest of us. And when they start feeling better in their bodies, they start feeling more calm, they will one day get to the point where they start focusing on their emotions. So it doesn't really matter where you start. Only our connection to our heart and what's going on within us is really the foundation for everything good. So I think life is very exciting and also very challenging, but there's lessons for us all the time. So as I've mentioned before, finding out how to incorporate nature into your life is just so powerful. And whether you move to a different place or you invite nature into your home, it doesn't really matter that much. But just having plants around you, maybe a little animal, is really helpful. So just where I'm sitting now, I'll just show you the flowers. These beautiful ones, they just keep blooming and blooming and sending out their scents. And the little pussycat. She's so sweet. Misha. Misha. Yeah, Misha. Yeah. 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 Shoo. Yeah, shoo. Yeah. And we have these flowers over here. I mean, beauty. The beauty of nature is so healing, and it reminds us of our own beauty. We are beautiful, no matter who we are, no matter how old we are. We are all bringing our own special beauty. We had some rain yesterday. It was beautiful. Not much, but some. And the rowan. Yeah. Seeing the animals, how relaxed they are, and just enjoying life. Oh, actually, she looks like she's hungry, but she can't be. She's just been fed. Nature is full of peace. It's just full of peace and full of love. Little late strawberries coming. I'm trying to make some little shoots, some little berries on there. So, yeah, I think I'll finish now and just send you all my love where you are in this world, and wishing all the best for you on your journey, and just wishing for you that you feel the love and the peace within you, and you feel how special you are and how rich you really are. So, yeah, take care, my friend, and I'll see you another day. Bye.